To be fluent in English, you need to be able to express your emotions. And sometimes it's really difficult because in your own language, you know a lot of words, you know a lot of ways to speak emotionally, and you use intonation. But in English, intonation works a little bit different. And when you start telling someone something really emotionally, you stumble over the words and you understand that you just can't show the emotion. You can't let the other person know what you really feel about something. So how can you be fluent without this? And so in this short video, I want to tell you some tricks to sound more emotionally without learning a pile of English words or some difficult grammar. First of all, my first recommendation is to learn as many synonyms as you can remember, because when you're saying the word interesting all the time, your language is not really interesting. You learn some other synonyms like, for example, enjoyable, insightful, fascinating, engaging, captivating. Let's make some examples. The last English lesson was so insightful. I learned a lot of new things. You want to say the last English lesson was so interesting, and then after you say two other sentences, you again use the word interesting. It means that your language is pretty poor, so the level of your language is not really good, it's not fluent. So when you use the synonyms, you sound much better. Another example, his speech at the conference was really captivating. He managed to keep my attention till he said the last word. So the speech was captivating. It wasn't just interesting, it was captivating. It took my attention, it captured my attention. That's how you can just substitute the word interesting by using synonyms that you can just Google. You can just easily find synonyms and learn a couple of them. Now, the second recommendation is to learn some grammar that is made for expressing emotions. For example, cleft sentences. I have a video on my channel about the cleft sentences. You can watch it if you don't know what it is. I want to just make examples. What I love the most is trying different types of coffee in various cafes in my city. So the initial sentence was just something like, I love trying different types of coffee in various cafes in my city. But the cleft sentence makes it really emotional. It emphasizes something. It emphasizes what you actually love. What I love the most is trying. So in this case, you can use the cleft sentence to emphasize different things like objects and actions and whatever. And cleft sentence is really pretty easy piece of grammar. So learning it, even just by watching my video, is completely possible. Another example, it was him who stole my money. The initial sentence was, he stole my money. But it's not that emotional. It was him who stole my money. Like, I'm sure that it was exactly him, not anyone else. When you emphasize something, you really express your emotions much better. Then there are some ways that native speakers and fluent speakers can misuse grammar to show emotions. For example, they can misuse tenses to show the emotion of irritation. Let's make some examples. She's always teaching others how they should live their lives. This sentence shows irritation. She's always teaching others. We are irritated by this. But you can see that this sentence is in present continuous. She is teaching. But you can also see the word always in the sentence. And you may remember that your teacher in English lessons told you that the word always is a significant marker that shows us that we have to use present simple tense. Like, we should say, she always teaches others how they should live. But if we say it like that, we don't show any irritation. And so you can use present continuous with the word always to show the irritation. Again, there is a video on my channel about expressing your emotions with grammar, and I really recommend you watch it. And now the most interesting part. I will give you several phrases that you can use to express your emotions on the go. Now, the first phrase is something and a half. You can say this when you believe that something is really good, bad, or difficult, so you exaggerate a little bit. Let's make examples. Oh, that was a win and a half. We scored 4 goals and destroyed that team. That was a win and a half. So it's not just a win for us, it's more than a win. We did a job and a half to renovate our old house. Again, if you ever made decorations and renovations, you understand that it's a job and a half, so it's not an easy job. And in this sense, we emphasize that it was extremely difficult, but we did it. And then, wow, that was a meal and a half. I've never eaten that much. A meal and a half. Yeah, you can say that when you eat a lot, more than you expected, something like that. The second phrase, be born to do something or be born for something. It means be good at something. For example, she was born to dance. It means she's a really good dancer. She's much better than anyone else. Or that guy was born to play guitar. It means that that guy plays guitar extremely well, so he's really good at playing guitar, and we can say he's born to play guitar. Then the third, very easy but extremely popular phrase, I bet. I bet means I'm sure, so I'm ready to bet for this, yeah? I bet he'll be late again. I'm sure, yeah? But if you say I'm sure, it doesn't give you a lot of emotion. So in this case, you're completely sure. I bet he will be late again. Or I could bet I would fail the exam, and I did. In this case, you see that I was sure that I would fail that exam, and this happened exactly the way I was sure. And then I bet it will rain tomorrow. So I'm sure, maybe I watched a weather forecast, or maybe I feel pain in some parts of my body because I'm too old, but I'm sure I bet it will rain tomorrow. Then the fourth phrase, thank goodness. Goodness is the word to substitute the word God, because a lot of people will not mention the word God in their speech. So a lot of people will substitute this with goodness. Thank goodness. You may have heard this, but maybe you don't use it because you don't know what it means. So this is actually thank God. Some examples. Thank goodness you finally passed the driving test. Or thank goodness you found your dream job. Pretty easy and very popular. Now, the fifth phrase is also pretty common. Chances are. You add emotion to your speech using chances are. Let's make examples. I am bad at math. Chances are I will fail that exam eventually. Or you never know. Chances are they will hire you right after the interview. So you can use chances are in both positive and negative ways when you predict something positive or predict something negative. And it sounds more common for a native speaker. Then you will say there is a high chance of something, or it's possible that this will happen. Now the sixth, very easy phrase, too bad. It's too bad, that's too bad. It's not just for saying that something is really bad, it's also for empathizing. So something bad happens with the other person and you empathize. So you want to express that you understand this person. And you share the emotions. For example, my wife and I, we've decided to break up. Oh, that's too bad. What happened? Or too bad you can't come to the party. We're going to have a lot of fun. So you can use this too bad just instead of simply saying bad, it's bad. Another example, how was your trip? Oh, that was too bad. I lost the bag with my passport in it. You can bet it was really too bad. And then the seventh word is gosh, and that's another euphemism for the word God. It's very British, but now it's widespread, so you can hear it all over the world, and people keep substituting the word God with the word gosh. Oh gosh, my job has become so stressful that I'm thinking of leaving the company. Oh gosh, I didn't expect to meet you here. Or it can be also, oh my gosh, I failed the last test and now I won't go to the university. In the US, you will more commonly hear, oh my god, but if you're speaking, especially if you're speaking with quite religious people, you shouldn't mention the word God. Then the eighth phrase that adds emotion to your speaking is "you're kidding." You're kidding. You're kidding is you're joking actually, but a lot of English speakers will say "you're kidding" to express a surprise. They don't believe you. They don't think this should be the way you say "you're kidding." So the examples. This guy probably won't win the competition. You're kidding, he's born to win. Look at his skills. I decided to relocate to a small town. You must be kidding. You've always loved New York. I'm sure you've heard the thing a lot of times. You're kidding. You must be kidding. But now you can add it to your active vocabulary. You can use it because you know what it means. You know when to use it, and it's really easy. And then the last one, which I really like, it's holy cow. Holy cow. You shouldn't be using this phrase a lot of times in your speech, but using it once in some situation when you're really surprised, when you want to react to someone telling you some surprising news, saying holy cow is pretty fluent. It's a very informal way to express surprise. But nowadays it's becoming a little bit old fashioned. So in a lot of societies, you will not hear this phrase anymore. And you should be noticing what people around you are saying. If they're using this word, it's okay in this society, you can use this phrase. And some examples. Do you know that Peter and Eve split up? Holy cow, I can't believe that. They were such a good couple. I won 2 million in the lottery last week. Holy cow, tell me if you don't know what to do with the money. I can certainly help with that. I hope the next time you need to express some emotions, you will use something from my list and you will sound more fluent. And the most important thing, you will sound more natural and you will be able to express not just words, not just grammar, but something deeper. You will be able to express the emotions.